Welcome back to another Professional Picks college basketball video. It's been a little while since our last game preview, but we have been putting out those KenPom metrics previews for March, looking at our favorite teams come March Madness. So we'll have another one of those videos for tomorrow. But today we're looking at the top 25 Big Ten matchup for Tuesday, March 5th. It's number 2 Purdue going to number 13 Illinois. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Let us know what you're taking in the comments, or let us know what other type of videos you'd like to see. But let's get into this game. Opening line has Purdue is a 1.5 point underdog, which even on the road I was a little bit surprised by, but it's not overly alarming. I mean, it does make sense, and people are still betting on Purdue or betting on Illinois off the bat with the early line movement. But coming into this season, everyone expected a race between Purdue, Michigan State for the Big Ten Conference. Purdue has really dominated all year. Illinois has been firmly in second. So it's basically your Big Ten regular season championship, with Illinois still being 2 games behind of Purdue. So Purdue's pretty much locked it up at 26-3 on the year. Pretty much locked up that 1 seed, barring a complete disaster to end the season. While Illinois, they're kind of in that 3 to 4 seed range, but just a couple strong weeks away from making that a 2 seed. So still a lot on the line for both of these teams with a late season conference game. KenPom is pretty similar to the AP poll for once. KenPom has Illinois at number 12, so just 1 under the current rating, and Purdue at number 3, just 1 higher than what they're at right now. With Purdue being just under about 6 points better than Illinois. And really college basketball has been about a 5-6 point swing as far as the spread goes. So I would say maybe close to even, but that's still basically what this line says here. And I'm not too surprised. Purdue is 6-3 in true road games, so all 3 of their losses on the road. And Illinois is 15-2 at home, so they've been a lot better at home. People do seem to be a little bit down on Purdue lately, just the last couple of weeks, and I don't fully get it. I mean, I know they lost to Ohio State, but they're still tied for the least losses in the entire country. Ohio State's now also 4-1 since they fired Chris Holtmann. The interim head coach has them playing a lot better, just more energetic basketball. So not going to completely clock them for that loss. And then I know they didn't look great against Michigan, but it is kind of hard to get hyped up for a game against 8-win Michigan this season. So, I mean, I'm not going to downgrade Purdue for the last couple of weeks. They're still 26-3 for a reason, and they've been healthy all season. It's not like something crazy happened. They've still been winning the games, lost 1, but 3 losses on the season. Not the biggest deal to me. What I'm more worried about is how bad Illinois' defense has been the last 2 weeks. Their opponents have put up more than 80 points in each of the last 5 games. Like, that's just ridiculous. Illinois' defensive rating on KenPom has plummeted from around the 40-50 mark to now over 100. According to our KenPom metrics video that we put out, that puts them completely out of range to potentially win March Madness. If they improve that defense, they could have been a contender, and really the last couple of weeks they've just gone the complete opposite direction. And if I want to compare Illinois to one team, they're really playing similar to Alabama, just all offensive basketball. Alabama's number 1 offensively, Illinois is number 3, and they both have really bad defenses. But guess who has the number 2 offense? Purdue. But they also play defense, so it's a really balanced team. They're actually even rated ahead of Illinois in rebounds per game. Probably the one stat that Illinois at number 6 in rebounds per game in the country can really hang their hat on. They're not going to get that with going up against Zach Edey. So, yes, they played well at Mackey earlier in the season when they lost, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me of why they would win this game. I mean, yes, they're at home, and that's kind of all it's really taken this year, but give me a team like Purdue, and I'll take them against almost anybody on the road. Alabama, for example, like we're just making that comparison between Illinois and Alabama. Alabama's 3-8 in quad 1, which is just terrible. Cannot play up to the competition of those better teams when you can't make a stop. Illinois is similar, not as bad in that regard. They're 5-5 in quad one, and then 17-2 and everything else. But when you really split it even further from there, their best win on the season statistically is against Michigan State. It's not really a great win. You could argue Florida Atlantic was their best win, but Ken Pom has them even rated lower within his adjusted efficiency margin. So however you want to put it, Illinois' best win is, at least statistically speaking, it's against Michigan State, which is not a really great win for a team that you're saying is a 3-4 or even maybe a 2 seed in March. Purdue, on the other hand, they're 10-3 in quad one. They have 5 wins that are qualified better than Illinois. And you could even make it 6 if you include Purdue's win against Illinois earlier this year. Illinois has not beaten one team that's rated ahead of them in Ken Pom. Purdue's rated ahead of them in Ken Pom. I just don't see Illinois winning this game. I mean, they could. It absolutely could happen. I mean, the line's even, says anything could happen in this game, but it's really hard for me to not go with Purdue. Bottom line, Purdue comes to play in these big games. They have all season since they dropped that bad one last March against Fairleigh Dickinson. And Illinois has not come to play in big games all season. I just remember, and this is anecdotal, but I still remember like the first or second week of the season, Marquette came into the building, a top 10 team who I think was even overrated, but they came into Champaign and they just smacked Illinois in the mouth, won the game, really dominated the game. And I find it hard to see Purdue not doing the same here. Illinois hasn't beaten anyone close to Purdue's level, and they're playing their worst defense of the season. They're not just going to all of a sudden find out how to make stops against the 7-6 National Player of the Year, and then Braden Smith, who's averaging in the teens, about 7 assists or more per game. I mean, you're going up against 2 potential All-Americans, and you haven't been able to stop Penn State. You haven't been able to stop Minnesota. I just don't see why that would change all of a sudden. Just because you're at home, just because you have a couple of good practices. I mean, the script doesn't flip that quickly, especially when you're trending in the wrong direction as they have been. The total is even set for 164.5 points in this game, which is a massive mark. Alabama versus Tennessee was 170, I believe, this last weekend. It was a nice under because Tennessee is a great defensive team, but you have number 2 offense versus the number 3 offense. I wouldn't be surprised if if Purdue put up over 100 points in this game. I like the over 164.5 points. I don't make official plays on totals normally, but I do like that total a lot. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have Coleman Hawkins going up against Zach Edey. I mean, Coleman's, if anything, he's just been more so known for his dirty plays all season. Yes, he does a few things pretty well, but one of them isn't protecting the paint. He's no Kofi Coburn we had a couple seasons ago. I mean, yeah, we just don't have the guys who are going to be able to stop Zach Edey in the paint. You're going to have to help on defense, bring another guy over, really open up those perimeter shooters, Foster Loyer, Braden Smith, Lance Jones, all those guys. I mean, it could just be an insanely high-scoring game in this one. I don't want to end the video without at least mentioning it, but TSJ, always an X factor. He and Damask will both need big games to pull this one out, and they've done it before. They've done it this season, just not at this level, not against a top 10 team. I'll change my mind once I see it, but yeah, I'll happily bet on Edey and Braden Smith and other guys who've been doing it all season until TSJ and Damask prove me wrong. I mean, they absolutely can, but Purdue plus 1.5 is way too good for me to pass up in this game. Let me know what you're taking in the comments. But that's all we got for today. Good luck to everyone this week, and stay tuned for some more videos coming out.